We're going to wrap up our show remembering the tenure of Arthur Smith, the final thoughts on his tenure. I'm sure we'll still talk about him much more over the next week or so. But one word to describe his 3 years in Atlanta. Alex, go.
I'm going to go 2 words. Extraordinarily mediocre. He was the most consistently inconsistent head coach in the league, similar to the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks have just been extraordinarily mediocre, just perfectly mid. Is another way to say it. And that's what the Falcons have been under Arthur Smith. It's just crazy to me still. He's going to wake up this morning and think, I put all my dang eggs in Desmond Ritter's basket. Imagine that. You're looking back at like, what if you didn't put your eggs in a 3rd round picks basket?
Yeah, he'd probably still be the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, which is a perfect segue into mine, which is just stubborn. I mean, we saw who he was, at the podium, a very stubborn guy, a very snarky guy. And there's nothing wrong with that when you're winning, as we've said. But when you're losing, you've got to make adjustments. And when you talk about just the way that he approached the offense, not getting, this isn't fantasy football, not getting his 3 top 10 and just like never just being like, hey, maybe I'm wrong in all this. Maybe I'm outthinking myself and stuff like that. Because the guy is think about what he was in Tennessee. He was a hand the ball off to Derrick Henry coach. Why he just decided to go away from that, even last year, that's what this offense was. Why he decided to go away with that, I think maybe we gave him too many weapons. He had too many guys to feed the ball. He didn't know what to do with it. I don't know what it was, but he never changed over the course of this season. He went away from what worked. And then another reason he is stubborn is for what you just said. He went with Desmond Ridder. There was nothing that made him go with Desmond Ridder, and there's nothing that made him stick to Desmond Ridder. There was no reason he did not have to do that. And his stubbornness ended up costing him his head coaching job. So I think stubborn is a perfect word to describe his tenure. And then that's the reason he is no longer the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons.
I think Arthur Blank was looking for any reason at all to give Arthur Smith one last opportunity with a good quarterback, with a quarterback who isn't Desmond Ridder, who is god-awful. And Arthur Smith still got fired this morning or late last night. And I think it was the right move. I mean, I think multiple people have said it, that if you're thinking, is this, it's just like marriage. If you have to ask yourself, is this person the right person? It's not the right person. It's the same thing with Arthur Blank and Arthur Smith.
Yeah. So it was not a fun 3 years, Alex. I have to say, we've covered this team, through and through. We went through the whole thing. Not a fun 3 years. That wraps up our show for this evening. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Big show tomorrow. Be back.